Fold your paper horizontally and fold it into thirds. You'll use scissors to cut one of the outer flaps 2 times, stopping at the fold line. I used a pencil to mark off where my cuts were so that when I cut the other outer flap, they mostly lined up. I also lightly drew a line connecting the cuts to help separate the head, torso, and legs section of my creature. In the middle uncut section of your paper, you can start drawing your first creature head. I started with a cat head and neck. That leads to my robot torso. For the torso, you can also add other features for your creature like arms, hands, wings, you name it. The more details you add, the better. The torso should lead to the legs section, but in this case, I'm actually drawing a little mermaid tail with scales. Once you finish your first creature, begin folding over one flap at a time to create a new head, torso, or feet section. Just make sure that you're lining up your new drawings with what you drew the very first time in the middle uncut section. As you work on a new flap, try to think of different animals that look really cool and what unique features they might have. If they have really long ears or horns or tails or wings, try to think a little creatively and try to do something different for each flap that you draw on. One way to add detail to your drawings is to consider texture or the way something feels. So if your creature has feathers or scales or fur, how can you show that using pattern in your drawings? So if you look at my mermaid tail there, I did kind of a bumpy line pattern to represent scales. To make my dragon wings, I added some diagonal lines that kind of look similar to bat wings. The more details and patterns you add, the better it's going to look. Once you're finished with all your flaps, start mixing and matching the different parts of your creature to figure out which one you like best. There are 27 different creature combinations that you can make from this one piece of paper. So if you had a picture frame and you could only display one creature, which would it be, and why do you think that is? For me, I chose to display my unicorn, Superman, mermaid creature. I think I liked it just because of how unicorns live on land, Superman flies through the air, and mermaids live in the water. So I thought it was neat how they would have 3 different habitats. Of course, I also added marker and colored pencil to mine as well, just to make it extra detailed. Feel free to add color to your creatures too. Happy mixing and matching!